heroes, villains, and innocent bystanders. Welcome to another episode of the Jingle Lee Gentry Comic Book Club. We will be talking about and answering questions and general chicanery about Camelot 3000. That was Terry's pick for this month. And then...
A classic.
Yeah. Yes, I can see why. And then Dal will destroy the rest of the world with his crappy pick. So, I wait on bated breath for that. Hopefully I'll hold my breath and pass out before he announces. Until then, let's go ahead and get started. Dal, you want to go first since you're going to ruin us anyways?
So who read the book?
I read them all.
Oh, yeah, I got them all read.
I read them years ago, and I read them again. It's by Barr and
No, we didn't.
Ballin doing the art.
Mm-hmm.
Ballin.
Ryan
Jim
Ballant.
Ballant.
Like your
Not
Ballant?
Jim Ballant.
Oh, okay.
The Brit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So great. Sir, has it been served yet?
I doubt it.
Well, they write, co-create, and the artists are all kind of together. So Mike and Brian, I guess, probably did the whole project together. But then they have an embellisher.
Is it called inkers? Or colorists?
Tracers.
You just alienated like two of our people. 2 of our 31.
Have you read other comics by this blank?
Oh, that would be the one question that Thunder ate off, and it would be the creator.
Yes, I have read other books by
Both of them.
both of them. Who was the writer we say was?
Barr.
Barr.
Yeah. Mike
Boland.
Barr I believe he did Mantra for Ultraverse in the 90s. And I've read other books, but I read some of his Wonder Woman stuff.
Lots of Boland
Justice
stuff.
League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Justice League stuff. The best...
Yeah, he was
Judge Dredd.
Yeah, he was really
Killing
big in-
Joke.
Has he done anything recently?
His Wonder Woman. And he's
He only
known for
did
the-
covers for Wonder
Well, I
Woman.
know, but he did art for it.
So, I mean, if you're reading covers, you know, that's, he did do the covers for Wonder Woman.
He's known for that one
one.
Wonder Woman that's sought after.
The one with her
Yeah.
standing on with the shield and the spear in their hand. Yeah, I have one of those.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
So
James,
yes.
have you read
the
other
answer.
ones?
The answer is yes.
Yeah, I was like, I think I've read.
Yes.
I feel like if you've collected any books in the 80s and 90s, like you've read something from him somewhere, because he was really prolific. But I don't think has he done anything recently? Anything big or anything?
Boland did. He did one of the exclusive covers for Detective 1000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But he hasn't-
Nothing, wasn't it?
and I don't know. I don't recall anything by Mike Barr lately, but
I don't either.
I don't.
We'll let Terry answer that question here, and I'll check it out. So.
Have you? But you. I assume we've all read something from him.
Yeah, in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
All right, James. Dig into the hoe bag.
Did you learn anything from the series about the author, artist, or situation? The year 3000 sucks.
Super misogynistic.
Don't abandon your space program, because then green aliens will come and mess your stuff up. And
Don't ever irritate a 3,000-year-old witch. That's always a good one.
yeah. And if you're a big strapping guy and you find yourself in the body of a hot chick, just run with it.
There are worse situations to be in.
It was kinda,
I'm gonna need about 30 minutes and maybe an hour
Wow, this just went like PG-13, almost. You know.
to acclimatize myself to the situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's reading the room.
PG-13, yeah.
I don't think there was any, like, really...
I don't think I really learned anything. I just, reread it after all these years. And
I learned that it's a cycle of life and death. You'll be reborn and come back, and the same thing you did before will happen again.
one thing after rereading it, I was a little surprised. It didn't stand well for me when I reread it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The test of time.
Yeah, it did not stand the test of time when I reread it.
Huh.
I mean, I thought it did. I mean, it's your typical Arthurian legend. I mean, it's not like they broke the wheel or anything.
Didn't hold the same
The
nostalgia.
art was great. I mean,
Yeah.
the art was beautiful. But
We are on kind of an Arthurian kick, aren't we? That's our second.
But the story,
Yeah.
and I don't even think it was the story. I just think it was the
Maybe it was you, and I don't
Dialogue.
the dialogue was really
Well, I mean,
was really
maybe
rough.
it was you that you've just matured. Is what I'm saying. Not.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure
you
a
know,
lot of
trying
that
to
is. I'm not
say anything
saying
bad.
that.
I'm
No,
saying, yeah.
I'm sure. I'm definitely sure it is. I was a kid when I read it, so I mean, it definitely changed. And the dialogue to me was just it was really rough to get through. It was just choppy. So
It was a product of its time.
definitely,
yes.
it's definitely a product of its time.
However, I find it interesting to see that we say that about this book, but not about the Sisters of Steel, the Sisterhood of Steel.
It seemed to hold up.
It
a
held
little
up better. I mean, we noticed some, but I mean, it did hold up a lot.
But
better.
I think the difference with that was that one was maybe like a different planet or a different kind of time period where the dialogue and the wording worked well for it, as where this is supposed to be kind of in our future, and so then the wording and the stuff kind of got a little weird because it was very like, I think we talked about it yesterday, where it's like very Arthurian, or these
definitely King Arthur. He's the only one who apparently had not been reincarnated at that point.
Yeah, he was in his old self.
Yeah, he was still his old self. Yeah.
All right. Is there a character that you would like to meet in real life? I really did think the guy that turned into the woman was kind of fun.
Tristan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, I would think I would like to meet him, but I didn't like him at all. Like, I didn't like him in the book. Like, he was very annoying. But the dichotomy of that, like, being a man and then all of a sudden being a woman and trying to figure your place back out in the world, it's very weird that it's almost true today. Like, there's a lot more of that issue coming out, and we're, transgender people and stuff like that are having issues, and I think that is just a fascinating issue to have. But this was, like, complete transformation for... So I thought that was...
Yeah, I agree with that.
I liked Isolde, his
Lover.
paramour.
Yeah.
She was kind of a badass at times, She
just kind of grew into that.
Yeah, she kind of... I'm in charge. So-and-so's away and I'm in charge. So I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So you're going to listen to me and you're going to do what I say.
We don't have time for this.
And, she got Tristan out of his funk, and it's like, I don't give a care, and you shouldn't either, and
Yeah.
so
She would be gonna...
she seemed like kind of a badass.
I don't disagree. Anybody?
I can't remember his name. Lucas? The kid that found Arthur.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of need to meet him. And of course, I mean, I think on everyone's mind would be Arthur. It'd be kind of cool to meet, just to kind of pick his brain a bit, talk,
Especially coming back, being in a different time world.
Right.
I thought Lancelot was an interesting character.
Yeah?
He was kind of your Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne kind of cliched character, I thought, except, he didn't wear armor. Well, I guess he did wear armor, didn't he?
Yeah, he wore armor.
yeah. So, but I mean, it's just like, oh, hey, I'm this guy.
Yeah, but he was really torn. I mean, he really cared for Arthur, but at the same time, he really loved
Guinevere.
Yeah, Guinevere, and
But there again, that's the same.
It was the same story, but
same story, right?
I thought his character was well written.
Yeah, but it's almost like they had, like in this book, it was just a little bit different because they actually had a do-over where they understood, this is something that I did and I can't do this again, and then they still went with it. Yeah, because they cared for each other so much, and the hard part is like you had a do-over and it's like you still chose to do the same thing, which if you would have just changed a few things, you would have been a lot better. Like, because I mean, like there was a point in the book where like they could have got out of it, and Guinevere could have been like, no, I love Lancelot, but she was still in love with King Arthur or with Arthur, and it was really. There's a part where, like, I think it's interesting. I was like, oh, that's neat that you get to do over, but then when you do it over again, you make the same mistakes. I kind of just don't have sympathy for you half the time. It's like,
and they were kind of trying not to, but they just couldn't seem to help
themselves. Well, and Arthur kind
of
sprang the marriage on her.
Right.
Well, I think if it was written today, with today's sensibilities, it would have been poly-married. Yeah.
Well, it
You
was
can't
still,
argue that, really.
You really, yeah, you can, because honestly, like, I mean, because you have Arthur, who is still kind of medieval,
Right.
and still in that kind of mindset. So even if he came into nowadays, it would still be he would still have that kind of mindset.
Yeah, true.
And like, I mean, they're all reincarnations from these people that were in the in another time. So it's other time people coming to the future, and that's still you still have that kind of morality or that kind of mindset in the back, from your past. So it still would probably be the same even if it was written today. I don't think they would change. But like I said, like, if Lancelot or if Guinevere or Lancelot would have been like, look, yes, no, we can't do this again. We're not doing this again. We love each other. Sorry, Arthur, we love you, but we can't. We love each other more, and we can't. Because there was a point, and I can't remember which issue it was, but there was a point where they could have gotten away with that.
4 or 5, I think.
But
Right.
but then they're like, no, we can, we're gonna try to make it hard on ourselves, and so it's like, I don't feel bad for you.
All right, next question.
I want to beat this one into the ground a little bit more.
I think it's dead, sir.
No.
It's a pulp.
No.
The horse has been beaten into a pulp.
Is there anything left unresolved you would like to know the outcome of? I think they were kind of resolved at the end of the book. They were restoring Earth. Guinevere and Lancelot were together. King Arthur is reincarnated again. And
Is Planet 10 gonna still play?
the alien planet.
Yeah.
Play a role in the future. Or...
Yeah, because the Queen survived.
I don't know.
Well, because you saw that one of the aliens pick up Excalibur. So
Well, that was a different alien.
That was a different alien.
Those
was
were
the-
purple.
Those were.
Where's the purple?
That was Arthur being reincarnated as a different,
As a
totally
purple
different
alien,
alien.
yeah.
Yeah, weird looking alien. Yeah, it's bizarre.
They did well, and I think it was this one's probably different because it's not going to leave a lot to or not a lot open because they know it's only a 12-issue miniseries.
Mhm.
So that's one question that I think is not in the book that or not in our little questions, but I think I would like to ask, like, do you think that hindered or did you think that helped the book? Because I feel like Sisterhood of Steel, it was kind of like they went for a miniseries and then they wanted to do more, but so they left like things that they could do, and that hurt the book a little bit. Not hurt it, but it was definitely a lot more open-ended. But with this being a 12-issue miniseries and them knowing it was a 12-issue miniseries, it was written like a 12-issue miniseries. Yeah. They had a beginning, they had conflicts, they had middles, and they had an end.
I felt like
they kind of wrapped everything up.
Maybe not the last issue, but kind of the second to last issue kind of felt a little rushed. Like they pushed some stuff.
It's like he wrote the first 5 or 6 issues, and then it was like, oh wait, we only got half more issues, so we need to get going.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like they made the big deal about the spaceship going to Planet 10, and then Lancelot, oh, by the way, I know this magic chick that owes me a favor, and she can teleport me anywhere.
You couldn't have brought that up earlier.
That,
The lady in the lake.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who was in love with Lancelot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think also though with the whole story about this book, I mean, it took over 10 years for it to come out, something like that. 5. It took a long time. It wasn't like all 12 at one time, or even monthly. There was a huge 2 or 3 year break between several issues. So
I don't know. I think we got out of order though. I think you picked when it was supposed to be Dal's turn.
No, I didn't actually. You picked it. I didn't pick.
Oh.
So now we go back to
it's
Dal.
Alan's turn.
No, Alan picked. It's
Alright,
back to
so
Dal
now
now.
it's
Back to me.
Back to you.
Pick 2.
I skipped Terry.
I've only gotten one.
I was tired of listening to Terry's babbling.
Me.
Damn. Rude.
At all times.
Yes, they did. Did the characters seem believable to you? Did they remind you of anyone? Yeah, King Arthur reminded me of every other damn King Arthur story ever written that I've read. All the characters remind me of every other damn character story I've read by King Arthur.
I mean,
there's really no... I mean, they were written how they've always been written. There was no...
Did the
being-
Lancelot
re-
reminded me of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like Terry
Did
said.
the Ronald
I
Reagan
said
character
that.
remind you of Ronald Reagan?
Yeah. I got put down a coup.
Yeah.
I like that he had the cowboy suit. And
All the
He's
time,
all
yeah.
dressed up in red, white, and blue, and
Yeah.
they...
I mean, it's...
I definitely think though I like the twists they did with each of them. Like, they kind of gave each of them kind of a little bit of a twist, even though it's supposed to be a classic Guinevere character. All of a sudden she was like this woman in power and had all this stuff that she didn't have before. And same with what's the one that got turned into the monster?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was supposed to be this character. It wasn't Tristan. What was it? But anyways, he got turned into the beast that couldn't talk, and then Tristan got turned into the female. It was they took all these classic tropes and these classic personalities that everybody's kind of gave to these characters.
Percival?
And
I
yes.
think it was, yeah.
So I thought that was kind of neat, though. So even though it reminded me, they used the classic sense of the character, they did try to make little twists on each of them to give them a new kind of facade. Like, what was the guy with the family? The black guy with the wife and kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
That was kind of a different
And he had
issue.
a son that was somebody else.
Is that Guinevere? I mean, not Guinevere, but Gawain?
Yeah.
Sir Gawain? Or Sir Gawain, the
Galahad was...
Galahad was
There's one guy that
Lancelot's son, and that was the Asian guy.
he's the Asian guy, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the samurai. Yeah.
Yeah, samurai. Who
was going to commit seppuku.
Yeah.
which he did.
No.
He killed himself.
At the end. Did he?
Mm-hmm. He was in the spaceship, and he hit the red button and blew it up to
Save over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Go ahead.
Would you read other comics by the writer? Why or why not? I would, and I have.
Yeah. Did you read them because they were because you liked his other stuff, or did you read them just because he's supposed to be doing this book, and so all of a sudden?
I did not read them because these are the guys that wrote Camelot 3000, and I really liked it. They did other things that I enjoyed.
That's kind of how.
Yeah, I don't think I ever sought out anything because he wrote Camelot 3000, but I just read stuff in the 80s. So.
Yeah.
Well, he wrote
Put all
Batman,
the
the
books.
Outsiders,
Love that. Used to read that all the time. All right, Terry, you want to go before I skip you?
Sure. I will go. How original and unique was the premise of the book? Oh, like we said, it wasn't necessarily original. It gave a little twist to it, but it really wasn't original. So it was just another version of Camelot. The Excalibur and the Knights. Just a retelling of that.
Yeah, so I don't think it wasn't really that original, but
No.
even
It was an updating.
with the twists that we talked about, still, I feel like every time I say twists, I feel like I still need to do this for some reason.
Who was the original
Twists and
attacking
turns.
country in the original King Arthur and Legends?
Was it
What was
France,
it?
or was it the Anglos versus the Saxons, or I don't know.
What did he ask?
Who was the original? Who did the Knights of the Round Table originally fight against?
Oh.
I think
The
France has their own version of the story, and
Yeah.
England has theirs, and so.
England!
Germany has Siegfried and Brunhild.
And Roy, too.
Here's another Thunder endorsed question.
Those are ones you didn't endorse.
He was trying to get rid of them. What did you like least about this comic?
The misogyny.
No,
Come for the misogyny, stay for the
adventure.
stay for the
Well, mine, I've already said it.
Homophobia.
The dialogue was just.
For me, I feel like I do feel like it was rushed, and I do feel like for as much as they put out that they had this huge alien attack, they really never hardly addressed that at all. Like it was like a very much like here's alien attacks. It's a big thing in the beginning, and then there's like you get a little bit in the middle, and then like at the very end it becomes something. But like for the most book, it's like for this thing to be such a huge concept or such a huge drama, they really didn't do much with it. So
Well, it's supposed to be
and it
having
does
this
feel
huge,
rushed.
this whole battle and war
Yeah.
and stuff. We rarely see that. We just see
See
the
all the
knights
drama,
talking and
yeah.
stuff, you know.
Well, and
Yeah.
really, it's just the aliens were just the foot soldiers for Morgan Le Fay.
But like in the first book, they were being chased by the
Right,
aliens.
The guy's
and,
family got
and they're-
killed.
Yeah, and that they had all but taken over Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like never see them again.
Well, and then like and then when
And did
Arthur
the spaceships look like spines to anybody else?
Like what?
Spinal column, spinal bones.
Little
They
bit.
look like
Mhm.
spinal bones
kind
to
of.
me.
I mean, now that you bring it up,
Mhm.
it kind of does, but no, that wasn't the first thought I thought.
When I saw it, I was like, "Is this supposed to look like a spine?"
I guess I could see that. Weirdo. But like even a lot of the book was those aliens that they established were never even part of the conflict. It was mostly the they were against the president, or they were against like some kind of other political something, or somebody was being attacked by robots, or it was something that was other than actually
it wasn't
him.
the aliens or
Them
anything.
fighting the aliens. This it's supposed to be this big downtrodden army.
Well, I think it.
But I do feel like that was annoying, and the fact that it was kind of rushed at the end. Like I did feel like they had all this drama the first few books, and then they got to the end and like, oh, I guess we need to wrap this up.
It felt like an episode of Supergirl on CW where the bad guy is not developed. It's just sort of a
Side thing.
it's just something to have the heroes have to deal with.
Well, like
Yeah.
I said, I mean the aliens were just the foot soldiers. The big threat was Morgan Le Fay, and her manipulations of the government and everything. So I mean, these were just like just like I said, foot soldiers that were
And at times, she and Mordred, they didn't even seem like a threat, really. A lot of the
Yeah.
time, they were just seemed like they were peeking in to see what's going on.
Well, and then she wouldn't tell Mordred the plan, and he'd screw it up, and then
Yeah,
she'd
they
get
just-
pissed at him. Well, if you told me the plan, I could follow the plan, but I
They-
can't follow the plan if I don't know what the plan is.
They-
Just
seem
like
like
an evil medieval witch.
They seem like real screw ups.
Yeah.
Well, and then like even that they gave her that illness that kind of gave her the reason that she was not as powerful as she normally was. It's still like, I'm with you. They could have done something with her more, but
Now, his art of her was amazing. She was beautiful.
the art period.
Yeah.
I mean, like every single panel was just really, really nicely done and almost
And
perfect.
it won't be in the questions, but this was the first book on that premiere
The
paper.
Baxter paper.
Baxter
Uh-huh.
paper. Yeah.
Baxter.
Yeah.
And so it was like the first book where the colors really popped.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal now because they're all like that, but at the time, that versus
The
stuff on
muted,
newsprint
Yeah.
was just groundbreaking.
New World. Well, even tell like in the digital version, the colors that are just like on fire. It's just like it's just because even some
And
of
at the
times,
time, it must have just been
out of this
unbelievable.
world, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
You don't like the colors?
I don't like. I like
yeah.
newsprint.
Oh.
I like.
But
the
you like it
muted-
because it's nostalgic. If
Yeah.
that's all you had and you got introduced to something new, I'm sure when this came out, it was like, whoa!
yeah.
Well, that's exactly
I
how
think
it
I
was.
remember complaining about it back then too.
Well, but you're Terry.
Yeah, you're Cherry. You hate everything.
Yeah.
All the things are horrible. All right, Dal. Last round?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, you done?
Hmm?
You done? You gonna be okay?
I'm done.
You gonna be okay?
I don't know. I mean, not be.
Somebody needs the Snickers.
What did you think of the pacing of the issues you read? You all say it felt rushed. I mean,
Towards the end, it felt
well, I
right.
know. You let me finish my
No,
thoughts, sir.
I'm
before
not
you
letting you
interrupt me,
finish it.
ass.
It's like dealing with two children.
You are a lot. Don't have room to talk, sir. I think you all said it felt rushed near the end. I mean, I thought the pacing was okay. I thought it was a little slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, but I know it was building and everything, and so
Well, and we've talked about this before. They used to
metaphors,
over-explain everything.
right?
Back in the everything had to be explained, and now they don't explain anything.
You don't even get full build. You don't even get half the art you get in this. Most of the stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you get like a fake little sky scene.
So it kind of drug at the beginning,
Yeah.
because they were so busy explaining everything.
They were world building.
How the
too
world,
much.
how the world worked.
And then I mean,
the
I
monsters.
don't think
and
it was like fat. I don't think it was like a rushed. I thought it was like, I think it did pick up pace because the story had already established itself and started moving into the third act. Usually third acts are
I thought the first issue was pretty good and kind of set everything up, and then after the first issue, it kind of got muddled down a little bit, and then towards the end is they started rushing.
Well,
So-
they focused a lot more on the drama between the characters in the first,
this was really
Several
more
books.
story, more character driven.
and then at the end is when like all the stuff that actually happens like to move the story along.
right.
And there was a few times where I had a hard time telling how much time had passed between like
Yeah,
Right, yeah, there really
wasn't
wasn't-
that.
No.
Because it was like the whole thing with Guinevere and Lancelot after the wedding that all happened, and then like it felt like weeks had been by, but I think there's a little thing where it's just almost like it was like a couple of days or something like that, and I'm like it feels the time frame was a little weird for me, so I think that was another thing that kind of made it maybe feel rushed because we didn't know how much time we'd missed between all these events.
Yeah, there's supposed to be this war, this big battle going on, but you really couldn't tell how much time had been passed.
Yeah.
And you would think there would be a lot of time passed, but it didn't really feel that way because you
Yeah.
really couldn't tell.
Will you continue to read this series? No. It's over.
Try again. Well, they might redo it.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody's discussed it with either of them bringing him back.
Did you have a least favorite character? I would say King Arthur. He was kind of a dick.
Mine was Mordred. Yeah.
Yeah,
They played up the
him,
goofy sidekick
Yeah,
way
that-
too much.
Oh
That
yeah,
kinda guy.
definitely.
I
But-
think they could have done more. They could have, if they would have went a little bit more to the darker side, because I feel like they did try to go a little bit more adult or darker side with the Tristan being a woman, with the monster, with the the affair. They did try to go with that like the drama, but then they kind of made it with the colors and everything like that look a little bit more goofy. And I think that if they would have maybe went with the villains too, that might have made a difference. Like you said, like it made them look they always look inept or like they weren't doing anything because
like the Reagan character was
so over the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it wasn't an actual threat versus having the governments of Earth plotting against you seriously and undermining you and
Character wise, I didn't like was the brother.
oh yeah, well
I
yeah,
forget what his name was.
Arthur's brother.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
about got Ned Stark.
Well, he did.
No, he got killed just
Oh,
as
the
they were
laser.
getting ready
The
to
lasers.
cut off
That's right.
his
That's
head.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they none of the characters could get out of their own way. It's amazing they had enough time to fight this war because they were so embroiled in their own drama.
I mean, you could-
In fact, they even called themselves out on it a couple times.
Yeah.
We've been so caught up in our own drama, we forgot there's a war on.
This could have easily gone 24 issues, and you could have done
I-
and
I
then
actually think-
canceled it after 13.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We're going to do 24 and then we're going to cancel it.
Yeah.
At 13.
It was probably a fairly expensive book to do, with doing it on the Baxter paper at the time.
Yeah, at the time it was
Well, I believe
newsprint books were 60 cents or 50 cents or
Mhm.
I don't know what the cover prices on these were, but it was
$1.25, I think.
it was at the time that this came out, I think books would have been about 50 or 60 cents.
It was also the first
$1.25 Canada.
So at the time, that would have been like the equivalent of an $8 book today.
Yeah. I believe it's also the first maxi series. Didn't this come out before Crisis?
I think
Yeah?
I think it was.
I think
I'm not
because
positive.
I think this was the first maxi series they did.
Hmm.
Because I know the first maxi series for Marvel was the Secret Wars 12-issue
Yeah.
limited series. So
All right, Terry, bring us home.
Nope, I got it.
he has to bring us
Oh.
home.
I didn't start.
I don't know why he didn't.
One more.
He's the
'Cause
first
you
person
started.
sitting- Well, he's the first person
Terry's
sitting
the
there.
penultimate.
What
Questions
audience would you
here.
recommend this to? People that like Arthurian legends?
Alternate history buffs.
I think I mean, people that like the drama too, like the character building. Like this would be a good character building book. I mean, because it does have a little bit of adventure, but that's definitely not a center stage for the book. It's definitely about like Tristan and his turmoil, the Guinevere, Lancelot, Arthur triangle, all that good stuff. So definitely somebody that's more into a dramatic book than an action book.
It kind of hits sci-fi, fantasy, aliens.
You know, the guy that didn't want to leave his family, and the samurai guy, and the Neo man. You know, they set them up to have these backstories, and then
Nothing.
didn't do a lot
Yeah.
with them.
Right.
Well, at the end they did because the guy went home to his family.
But
It
he
was
kept
kind of a-
missing his
It was a
other
side
than
thing.
other
Yeah.
than as an excuse to get him and the samurai guy together. They didn't do a lot with them. They
Right.
could have really played that up, and
Yeah, they could have had a whole issue with the Neo guy about how like his internal dialogue or how he felt like being, he used to be human, now he's, it could have been something that kind of similar to what the Tristan angle was, where it was, you're in a completely
he's like, I
different
can't
body.
think,
Yeah,
and I'm
why?
well, like the Hulk feels.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. The samurai with how he lost his honor, and then they could have done more, played up the angle of the family getting in the way of that other guy trying to completely
have the son call. When are you coming home,
Yeah.
Dad?
But they did like
Well, they did do some of that, talking
but
about
it's
on
very
TV.
brief.
But when they
compared to-
showed him on TV, I don't care. He left us. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The son, and so yeah. That's
Bring
all I
us
got-
home.
That's all I got to say about that.
You should just say that for the beginning, just like everybody.
One step closer to home. Another step closer to home.
Jesus on fire today. Here, this is
Oh shit.
great question to end on. This is for James and Dal. Do you
Metaphor.
think this is a pretty straightforward story, or is there a lot of metaphor symbolism? Favorite medical questions between you two? I feel like it's pretty straightforward.
Oh yeah, that was. I didn't think there was really any metaphors for anything.
I mean, like,
I mean,
it really depends on how deep you look into it. Like, the Reagan character could be a lot of political stuff, and
Well, and some of the stuff goes over our head because it's not current
relevant.
history.
Yeah.
It was kind of a stab at all the countries shutting down the space programs or backburnering them.
And I think, like, Women's Lib, I feel like there was a lot more, in a way, kind of gay rights too, with the two female characters.
Yeah.
I guess female/male character.
And they kind of touched on the, people are so busy surviving that they're not living.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be. I mean, like, it really just depends on how deep you look into it. I think it was, but I thought it was pretty straightforward story overall.
What comes around goes around.
Yeah. That's true. As much as things change, they all stay the same.
That's right.
And
All right. And now for the
comes
crap
the
fest.
end is near.
Jesus.
And we
Go ahead, Dal. What book are we reading next?
That's it. We're not gonna ask on how many stars we would give
Oh,
this.
sorry.
Man,
Sorry.
you almost
Purple.
got a whole
Purple.
segment there. Man, aren't you
Fuchsia.
glad I'm
I'm
here?
doing fuchsia.
We're just trying to bite the bullet.
Vermilion.
Damn.
We need time to process your pick, Dal. All right, go ahead, Terry. Any final thoughts, and what would you rate the book?
What color?
I went fuchsia.
Yeah.
Out of five horns. Is that what it is?
Probably. I mean, my nostalgic pick when I read it back then, it was probably a 5, 4 or 5. Now I put it at 3.
Any final thoughts? Like,
No, not really. I mean, if you enjoy Arcane
Are you glad you
Legends-
reread it?
I mean, it was worth going back and revisiting. Yes.
I do find it interesting that you don't like it the second time. I thought that was interesting because it was my first time reading it, and I actually enjoyed it. Go ahead. Any final thoughts? Rating?
I remembered it being better than I thought it was this time. I read through it and I was like, oh man.
I would say 3 story wise, but if you want to just go look at it, it's like a 5 in the art.
Yeah.
So
department,
I'll give
for
it
sure.
a 3.
And like, I mean, yeah. I agree.
What about you? Final thoughts for you?
No, I mean, like, it was the first time for me reading it, so
No
I
final
enjoyed
thoughts?
it.
Wow.
I thought it was really good, but I definitely agree with everything that everybody said. Obviously, not going back and reading it, it's kind of difficult to tell like how I would feel after reading it, the first time. But not having any nostalgia, not having anything connected to it, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good read. The art was amazing. It was not like over complex. It had a little bit of action, had some drama, it had some fun characters. I really liked the visuals. I liked, like the color. It was just, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. So I'd say 4 out of 5 unicorn horns because, I bet also in the first time reader, so it's a little bit different for me.
My reading, as I was reading through it, I was like, man, this is tough to get through, and it really, because there again, it's that I understand Arthurian legends, I understand that, I'm just tired of them, but it wasn't that though. It was like we said before, the dialogue, the
Explaining everything.
over explaining everything. But I mean, based on that and the art, I'd give it a 4. I did enjoy rereading it.
You said you'd only read like a few issues before.
Right,
so.
I had. Yeah, I think I'd read like the first 5 or 6, so or something like that. But like I said, I enjoyed it, so I decided I'd give it 4 unicorn
Wow.
horns. I
gave it
really
4.
enjoyed it.
Now we bite the bullet.
I cannot believe this.
Go ahead, Dal.
I'm glad I picked something that most everybody enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think we're going to
You
do
guys are pretty good
Transmet
picks.
Volume 2.
God.
No, I'm kidding. Actually, I have it right here.
Book club's breaking up, and we're going to reconvene with only 3 of us.
As again, on my last, as I did my last pick, I have not read this. It's one of mine I pulled off the shelf that hey, I need to sit down and read it. As with like Babbling Boy, this is called The Stardust Kid.
Oh.
It's written by J.M. DeMatteis, or DeMatteis, how you say it, with art by Mike Plug. It's a fantasy epic.
Looks like a children's book, so is it?
It's really not. It's for your age.
Your age.
Your age.
I'll be the judge of this. Give me this.
Cause you did
Mike
do
Plug-
Abadaz.
Abadaz, yeah, same group that did Abadaz.
But he's also done,
Well, I mean, it's
Werewolf by Night. And,
right. Plug's long established as a horror
He's-
artist.
he's a
and-
great
Sal's
guy.
picking
Beautiful
books he
artist.
already has, so he doesn't have to buy them or
No, I'm
Oh,
picking
no.
books that I have that I have never read because this is book club, right?
Stardust Kid.
Stardust Kid.
Is
yes.
is it all inclusive, one volume?
I believe it is. Yes. Let me see.
Ooh, that's what I should pick next time. Just Abadaz, 1 issue. No, it's 2 issues, wasn't it?
I think it went more than that.
No, I don't think it
I
did.
think it did.
I don't remember it going more than that.
I know Disney bought a whole company trying to get that one.
It looks like it's
Yeah.
in it. It does look like it's all done in one. So.
Okay. All right, so just the one.
And I'll just give you a little summary.
Does it
I'm
say
going to read
on
the
the
summary
side?
about it.
No.
No. Okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Fine.
I just want to make sure it's not like a
$1,000.
volume 1.
Volume 1 of 1,000.
Yeah.
What? What did you get us into?
I'm okay with that. Like, I don't mind reading the first volume.
But I mean, it looks. I mean, the cover. I'll put it up
Yeah.
here so you can look at it. Move your hand so people can read it. Or look at it. See, I mean, it's got a
Yeah.
really pretty. What satar or centaur, satyr,
Fawn.
Satar.
fawn, blowing on it.
Satar, they live in the country.
Leave me alone.
Mom, did you see see that satar over there?
Man, sir, I
Get
have,
the gun!
I have
Get the
problems.
gun!
I have pronunciation problems.
We
Leave me
got
alone.
satar
You big
infestations.
bully. You're bullying me.
I know.
I gotta go to a safe
Horrible.
space.
All right, so Stardust Kid for next round.
It's only
Okay.
5 chapters. I mean, it's
Wow.
you know, Klug's art
This
on
one
it
looks
is
like it
really
has a little bit more potential than the last few
beautiful,
picks
man.
he's had. They can't all be crap.
Oh, you actually liked his last pick, I thought.
What was the last pick?
Battling
No.
Boy.
Battling Boy.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was okay.
I didn't. I was opposite of that. I didn't care for Battling Boy at all.
Yeah. It was.
Which I thought you liked it.
I wish they would have figured. I like the art. I thought the art was kind of
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
and exciting, but the story wise, I don't know what the hell happened with that. It's just like
Yeah.
we're just gonna throw a bunch of crap together, and then
Now
now we're
I
done.
think if we had a second volume of that, it would have been a lot better, though. It might
Mm,
expand. I don't know. But anyway.
Maybe.
But yeah, Stardust. The Stardust Kid. Yeah.
All right.
It's by Arakia.
It's a western, right?
No.
It's a western.
It's a
yeah.
western.
It's a western.
Yeah.
It's western horror steampunk.
Whatever you want it to be, Terry. That's what it is.
All right.
Speaking of which, have you read Black Manor yet? It's pretty good. It's good.
I have not. No.
We'll talk about
I
it.
did start to read that other one that James did a preview on or review on that he couldn't figure out what the heck was going on.
Which one?
The one where the lady
lot of those,
the
huh?
lady starts up and she's talking to a skeleton of a bird.
Oh, Coffin Bound.
Yeah,
Coffin
that's
Bound.
horrible.
What the hell?
I tried to get through that and I couldn't.
I read
figured that
about
out.
12 pages
Yeah.
and I was
like,
like,
what the
Okay.
hell?
I read the whole thing.
Coffin Girl.
Coffin Bound.
Coffin
Coffin
Bound?
Bound. Like
Yeah.
you read like in English.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
I didn't say it was good. I said I read it.
Well, you act like that's what you.
yeah, you
You acted like I were all weird.
I said I read it, and I mean it was.
you're just all offended and
Yeah, you
I mean,
did.
that's a book I think that would
I'm
probably
gonna rewind
gotten
and let you watch that again.
probably the next issue would probably be better, but
God.
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, we're
let's
off
finish
topic
this up.
all right.
You're the one that got off topic. I'm trying
Thanks
to keep it
for-
fun.
oh my God, Dow.
Stay focused.
We're about to play some Taylor Swift. You need to calm down.
Please don't.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Jane Lee Gentry Comic Book Club. We reviewed Camelot 3000, and we all really we liked it. Some of us somewhat. It's a pretty decent book.
The average was a
And,
5.
Yeah, the average was not a 5.
Well, he gave it a 3. You gave it a 4. I gave it a 4.
it
He
a
gave
3.
it a 3. So what's that average make it then, sir?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, do you know average? Oh God, we're gonna do a math lesson after this. If you don't add up all the answers, then.
The Jenny Lee Gentry Math Club.
So next month we'll be reviewing
My next pick will be math,
Math.
math for comic geeks.
The next month will be for Stardust Kid. I hope you join us, but you probably won't after this. Although if you haven't abandoned us yet, you're probably still sticking with us.
Yeah, I agree.
So
with
either
Mark,
way, we
math
look
is
forward to
hard.
seeing you next time. Until then, we hope your pull list is full.
Subscribe.
Oh, like, share,
like,
subscribe.
share, click the bell.
Straight Talk,
Tell your
Comic Book Straight
friend.
Talk. Tell your
Carry on,
friends,
yeah,
tell your
Comic Book Straight
dogs
Talk.
if they can subscribe.
Accost people out in the street.
Grab them by the shirt and let them know.
We're gonna watch this.
Subscribe now. Bye.
Bye.